Of course, I'm going to go as in depth as I can here, but this place was rubbish, I'm just warning you. Pacific Park is located on the Santa Monica Pier in Santa Monica, California, and this place is legendary for video game lovers as, if you didn't know, Grand Theft Auto 5 takes place in a fictional Los Angeles, and I have spent so much time at the Santa Monica Pier, or in this case Los Santos Pier, doing missions on GTA Online, driving off the edge of the pier to try and avoid the police, hiding underneath to try and avoid the police, and having last stands here where I'm getting ready to turn off the game against the police. Don't ask questions. Getting to the pier is quite easy from pretty much anywhere in LA, as there is a metro line, the E line that ends and starts very close to the pier, so if you're in LA, it's very easy to get to. Arriving at the pier, the goopy goblin gamer brain I have enjoyed walking around the pier and the surrounding area, seeing how the good people up in Edinburgh did when creating GTA 5. However, I have this adage that really came true when walking around this pier, but we will discuss that later, as there is a theme park to review. Walking past street vendors and this lovely guy with a truly lovely sign, Pacific Park is located pretty soon after you walk onto the Santa Monica Pier, or you can enter there directly from the beach to the left of the park. I didn't pay too much attention to the finer details of the pier. I wasn't looking at buying food here or any novelties, so please excuse me on that one. On the beach, the park looks kind of cool as a passerby, as the novelty of a roller coaster and a spinning wheel on a pier is somewhat novel to some. The main thing I was shocked at was how strong the supports must be to hold all this stuff, or how light the rides are. There are two entrances, one next to a roller coaster, and that entryway just has a simple sign, but the main entrance, which is entered by walking down the pier a little bit, does have some character to it, with what looks like an octopus behind the logo. This park is packed tight, since we are of course on the pier, meaning there's only really one footpath for people to walk through to get to rides and such. So traffic flow here was terrible on the day I was there. There are many carnival and arcade games here, which is fine for tourist bait and younger kids. That made Pacific Pier feel rather tacky from the start. There are a bunch of flat rides here, such as spinning shark heads, a rocket ship where you go up and down a bit as much as when I'm doing squats, and a swinging ride, and a few others, but I didn't get to go on these due to how these rides are paid for. Pacific Park is free to enter, but to get on the rides you either pay per attraction or you get a wristband for the day. Wristbands were $30 for kids and $50 for adults, or well, anyone aged 8 or older, so I'm guessing an 8-year-old is an adult at Pacific Park. I guess beer is on Mikey and all of his 8th birthday pocket money. As I mentioned, you can pay per ride, with rides starting at $8 for the ones you throw your kids on for 5 minutes so you can remember what peace feels like, $12 for the middle of the pack rides such as a pirate ship themed to a sea dragon, which didn't look like it went very high, and finally $15 dues for the big hitters like the wheel and the roller coaster. If you decide to go the single ride route, you'd pay at a kiosk or a manned stand, and are given a card, which I'm assuming has credits on, and I am doubly assuming you can add more credits to the card if you wish. I actually kept 2, here they are. If anybody ever meets me and I have one of them on me, you can have it if you want. As you can probably guess, none of these are worth the money, but I thought I had to try at least one attraction to viably call this video a review of Pacific Park. And considering I know this ride off by heart in its digital form in GTA 5, I had to pick the roller coaster. Despite what some may think, I believe the icon of this park is the roller coaster, named the West Coaster. The entire park feels built around it, which is actually part of the reason why navigating the pier isn't actually as easy as it could be. You're navigating around some of the supports. However, this does create a nice bit of kinetic energy, which I'd argue is the only real good thing this park has going for it. But I think the roller coaster is the only good form of kinetic energy, as I don't think I can call the other attractions very kinetic. It's just a bunch of shit unrelated to each other moving around. The yellow track of the coaster helps it stand out against the typical LA blue sky, and the coaster is themed to what I believe to be a Cadillac? I'm not sure, but I feel like I drove one of those in LA Noire. I wish I had a POV of this ride, but despite so many POVs being online, the ride operators told me to take my GoPro off my chest, which is perfectly fine, whatever. But the woman directly in front of me was wearing Beats by Dre over-ear headphones. I wish I was making that up. Not sunglasses, not a hat, Beats by Dre headphones. She was sat directly in front of me. If those headphones fell off, it would have fucking hurt. And it nearly did, if it weren't for the fact that I dodged them when they came off. So, to the ride-ups on that day, fuck you, I hope you get shat on by a seagull on the way home. If there are seagulls in LA. Editor me, can you find that out? Are there seagulls in LA? There's nothing to say about the queue, apart from the fact you get some nice views of the beach next to you from the stairs, and that there is extremely light theming in the dispatch area. As for the ride itself, it's really boring, and pretty rough I found, with nothing really of note to speak of apart from the fact you're going to get some nice views around you. But then again, you could just go on the wheel for that. At least you go around the track twice, which is nice. A small bit of ADR here, but I really wanted to spotlight this image of me because I didn't know there was an on-ride photo, so this was my raw emotions when riding the ride, and I think it just sums up my opinion on not just West Coaster, but Pacific Park overall. Pacific Pier is a novelty, with the main appeal being that you're at your typical carnival, but on a pier, and near an iconic beach. I was glad I came here to check it out, but that's mainly due to the GTA connection, as well as other video games. Like a month or so before this, I played Dead Island 2, which is set in LA as well, so I was thinking about that game too. The attractions themselves are really not worth your time. Personally, it's only really worth coming here if you are already nearby and curiosity got to you. Then again, it is free to enter, so you can walk around, take in the ambiance, and then get on with your day. The previously mentioned adage I alluded to at the start of the video is that people ruin everything. Like, you can have the best natural wonder, the most wonderful piece of art, and people will somehow ruin it. Normally by being a dick. The pier and theme park overall was stupidly packed, despite not having too many people there. I showed that horrific sign earlier, there's buskers all over the pier, and it was simply uncomfortable to be there. Pacific Park and Santa Monica Pier are kind of a package deal, and overall, I'd say skip it. Since I can't say it any other time in the video, I also checked out the Griffith Observatory after I was saddened by how naff Pacific Park was. And it was pretty and all that, but I was there for 10 minutes, waited an hour to leave, and worst of all, nobody wanted to help me recreate the "Davey, how you doing?" meme from GTA 5. And that just ruined my day.